Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume you have up first is a machine learning engineer that is deeply struggling to get a job. Their ratio, which is how you can tell how good or bad your resume is, and this resume is bad, is 150 plus to 1. What that means is it takes them over 150 applications to get a single job interview. And when people use my method, they get one interview per 7 applications. So this takes over 150, which means it is a stinker of a resume. They said they are currently trying to build their personal projects while keeping up with coursework. They're in their master's program. However, they understand how valuable it is to build personal projects. Therefore, they started building large language models from scratch and to build AI for crypto investments. So let's see if that actually matters, but probably not, because really what projects you do usually don't matter that much. People really overestimate how important the projects are that you do rather than just that you did something. So what do we need for a machine learning engineer? We need degree, machine learning, ML, cloud, CI/CD, Databricks, Git, SQL, Python. Although Java, C#.NET could be replaced with Python. Cross-functional and communicate details with non-technical people. ML frameworks and libraries. You don't need all of those. You just need some of those, like Skibbity Learn. The scale of the system you have built that is non-technical. Training, tuning, and deploying models in production environments from 0 to 1. So I need to find 75% of those in qualification format, not keyword format, in 20 seconds, or else I will not be able to move forward with you and your resume will get yeeted and deleted. So let's start. Oh my gosh, this is so small, but none of this is related. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Okay. Developed and maintained features for an open source using React and Tailwind. Not really looking for that. That's a hot dog. Next.js, hot dog. RESTful APIs, React, and irrelevant, and time. All right, this is a yeeted and deleted. So why does this person's resume stink? Well, first off, you have misunderstood what recruiters are looking for. We are not keyword hunting. We are qualification hunting. What a keyword is what the hiring team needs, right? It's right up here. What a qualification is one of these things, plus how you used it, plus where you used it, plus the non-technical reasons that you used it. So if it's not the what, the how, the where, the why, it does not count. And the problem with this is right here, this does not tell me where, so it does not count. This does not tell me how or where or why, so it does not count. This just doesn't count because certifications in machine learning engineering and software engineering are not looked upon as anything, really. I don't think I've actually seen a certification change somebody's mind on a software engineer. Now, if you were going for help desk or you were doing cybersecurity, then yeah, this stuff could matter. But for software engineering and machine learning engineering in particular, I don't think I've ever seen it move the needle. So this entire part is blank. Also, your formatting is awful. Your formatting should be this. This is how you do it in the link below. And right here is how you can actually tailor it, all of that. But that is how you want your resume to look. So this is so far awful. And I've spent all the way down here and it's completely blank. So let's go down to here. Developed and maintained features for open source web applications using React components and Tailwind. Hot dog. That doesn't matter. That's a hot dog. So what a hot dog is in a resume is, I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant and you're like, I'd like a cheeseburger. I don't know why you picked up a southern accent, but whatever. And the waiter says, you want a cheeseburger? And you say, yep, I want a cheeseburger. So the waiter goes back to the kitchen and they bring you a hot dog. And you say, excuse me, waiter, I was trying to get a cheeseburger. This is a hot dog. I think there's been a mistake. And the waiter goes, no, there's no mistake. When you said cheeseburger, what you meant was you wanted something with buns like a hot dog. You wanted something with meat like a hot dog. And you wanted something that could contain cheese like a hot dog. So when you said cheeseburger, what you really meant was a hot dog. And then you would walk away without paying because that is not what you wanted. And that waiter is trying to gaslight you. And that is the exact same thing here. Developed and maintained features for open source, blah, 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 is a hot dog. That is not what I'm looking for up there. That is adjacent to what I'm looking for, but it's not what I'm looking for. Refactored Next.js, which I don't even know if people can read this because this font is so small. Like I have to zoom in. Don't make your font this small. Refactored, blah, 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 doesn't matter. RESTful APIs, not really impactful for machine learning engineer. For any other type of engineer, yes. Designing and launch library, doesn't matter. Established Docker, doesn't matter. In fact, where is any of your AI? Why is it that I have to scroll all the way down to here into your project sections to get any AI? And again, engineered an AI powered intake agent designed to hot dog. Maybe the agent could be used, but probably not. Design the system as a rigorous blah, 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 not related, not related, not related. Cool. So there's nothing here. And again, even though you've used a lane graph, which is for multi-agent systems, this doesn't tell me where you did it, so it doesn't count. So then we go down here, develop the multi-agent tool. Using what? What did you use it for? So no, that doesn't count. I mean, multi-agent is good, but like, I need more than that. I need to know how you used it. I need to know the non-technical reasons you used it. Integrated LLMs to... No. You know what I don't see in this machine learning engineer? And I'm going to copy paste this. I don't see machine learning anywhere. There's no machine learning besides your degree. Okay, here it is. Did I miss this and this? Oh, look. Only the titles. You did not show me you're a machine learning engineer. I don't see that you have a I don't see any machine learning experience in this machine learning engineering resume. And that is a giant, 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 giant red flag. So I'm going to need you to take this resume, delete all of it, because this is why nobody is moving you forward. And again, for the people at home that are upset that I'm doing this, nobody is moving forward with them. Not a single person, because they take over 150 applications to get an interview. So this is by every single metric a garbage resume. So you need to delete this and you need to start again. You need to make it look like this. This is how you do it. And I need you to actually put bullet points that say stuff about how you did, what you did, and the non-technical reasons. I'd like you to say, created a machine learning, I don't know, agent using, let's see, scikit-learn, skibbity-learn, pandas for a 300 million a month user website where people could put pictures of their pets. That alone would be better than anything you've written. And then also, I really do need you to put communicate technical details to non-technical people. Part of your job as an AI engineer in general is going to be talking to people that can't turn on their monitor. And you have basically proven to me that you are unable to communicate technical details to non-technical people based on how your resume is written. So you are really going to need to show that you can talk to people that can't turn on their monitor, because that will be part of your clientele. And that is going to be a big part of your job. You don't get to just be a machine learning engineer and not talk to people that don't understand what the difference between Java and JavaScript. So that's all I can do for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to thank my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. And if anybody wants to join, they can join in the link below. And if you want your resume reviewed, feel free to join me when I'm live streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube, as that is where I have people submit their resumes for review. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack developer. Now, they are in Turkey, and I actually have gotten people jobs in Turkey before. I've gotten people jobs in, obviously, the US, Canada, Mexico, I believe Singapore, Africa, Germany, UK, most other places in the EU, and I think there was one more and I can't remember it. So my advice does, in India. So my advice does work outside the US. I will say it's not a one-to-one translation. So while my advice in the US may be A+, outside the US, it may be a B+. So still good enough to get you a job, but there's going to be like one or two things that are going to be different that I'm just not going to be able to know because of the differences in the industry. So for a full stack software engineer, what do we need? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful API or REST API, SQL, Cloud, Backend, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, and extra credit for large-scale AI tools and cross-functional. So now you may be thinking, what do you mean TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS? Well, almost every single job is asking for TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So it doesn't matter if they're the same thing. It matters that you put it in. That's all that matters. So 20 seconds on the clock. This person's ratio we don't know because I think it's the equivalent of a 1 in 75, which is mainly because there's just not as many jobs to use the normal ratio. So the normal ratio is 1 interview per 50 applications should be your goal at a minimum. Outside the US, where there are less jobs, that ratio is going to change a bit. And in this case, it's probably their ratio is equivalent to a 1 in 75. So this is like a D- to a D grade on a test. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what they do and do not have. And go. Okay, formatting's awful. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. All right. Design and operated production grade Kubernetes cluster. Okay. Okay, you had one or two things there. Using Nest.js, okay. Define hand stack, Tailwind CSS, okay. Nest.js, Fast API, and time. This is a nightmare to read. You might actually have had more of this stuff, but I can't find it in the 20 seconds I have because this is kind of a nightmare. So again, you do not want a summary section. The only time you want a summary section is if you are relocating, explaining a change in industry. And I'm talking like going from a software engineer with 12 years of experience to being a baker, that level of changing industry. Or you're explaining a non-H1 visa. There's the only reasons you would want a brain. You would want one of those summaries, but you don't have it. So again, this part doesn't count. And then we get down to here, and this is mostly gibberish, right? Remember, you need to give me the non-technical reasons. All right, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. The hamburger. MongoDB. I've seen it once or twice, but it's probably not related. Hamburger or hot dog, 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 hot dog. So again, and you didn't tell me the non-technical reasons. So built a horizontally scalable. No. I did like Nest.js, but nobody's gonna know what that is. This doesn't. Nope. I was too zealous. This one actually has some stuff that is relevant. This one doesn't count. So developed an end-to-end application using Next.js. Good. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog with Nest.js. You already mentioned it in Fast API, owning the complete. Again, not a good description. Built TypeScript for this one is actually okay. Again, you want a minimum of 3 keywords per bullet point, and this only has 2, but building, just say built a TypeScript node schema management migration platform for local developments. Again, automating, this is close to how I want you to write it, but not quite. Hot dogs, mostly hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs. So if you noticed, I did not see TypeScript, I did not see JavaScript, I did not see HTML, I did see CSS. I did not see cloud. I did not see any backend. I saw some of the React.js list. I did not see DevOps. I did not see CI/CD. I did not see Agile, and I did not see Git. And I need 75% of those to move you forward. So this resume is, well, worse than a D-. This is a fail for sure. Well, D- is a fail, but so I would like you to delete this and make it look like this. And then I need these things, which again, you correctly identified here, right? Like a lot of this stuff I actually want, but I need it in the bullet points, and I need you to be very razor focused on what it is you're putting in your resume, because right now it is filled with hot dogs. Next resume. This is a resume of a data engineer. What do we need for a data engineer? We need Python, ETL, or ELT, SQL, Cloud, and I don't know what these are called, like S3, EC2 for AWS, and the equivalent of those for Azure and GCP. I don't know what those are actually called, though, but we do need those. DataX, so like data models, data lakes, etc. The ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people. This is huge, and you will see this as a running theme throughout a lot of the roles that I recruit for and that we have up here is you need to explain technical details to non-technical people. And you need to prove that through your resume, because that is a key skill in getting people hired and in the job itself. And you can meet multiple deadlines, big data, get the industry, because every industry is going to be a little bit different. And then rare but nice to have is Tableau, Power BI, AI, BigQuery, Snow, and CI/CD. So this person, do we know their ratio, is unknown. They gave us nothing, so we do not know anything about them. So let's see if this is a good or garbage resume in 20 seconds. And where did my stopwatch go? There we go, 20 seconds, and go. All right, you already graduated with that degree. I don't need the other one. Reduce manual behavioral scoring by hot dog, deploying a Python. Okay, good. LLM RAG pipeline on, jeez Louise, it's harder. REST API, hot dog, but you didn't tell me why. Eliminated time. That was it. Couldn't even get past the first sentence because of how poorly formatted this resume was. And the first sentence also was pretty bad as well. Like Python is great, a little bit of AI is fine, and you had some cloud, but I need more. So yeah, this does not work. So remember, use this format. That is what you want to use. Here, what we want to do is if you've already graduated, and let's face it, you're about to graduate, so this is fine to do. If you've graduated with the same degree as your master's and your bachelor's, you do not need to put, you do not need to put your bachelor's. The master's in computer science supersedes the bachelor's in computer science. Then this sentence is insane. There is a tendency of very smart people to try and take everything they've done and cram it into an incredibly dense sentence. And this is a terrible idea for the reasons that you have just seen. Is that this was so incredibly dense. The font was so small, which again, the font is very small, is I was only able to read the first sentence. And that was it. And it didn't have almost anything I wanted. The only thing I saw is here and here. And this is two things I want, which is Python and GCP. One thing, which is a bonus, which is AI. And I need a minimum of 3 keywords per sentence. And you only have 2. Because bonus keywords are bonuses. They don't count until you've gotten everything else done. And you did not explain this in a simple manner, so you already proved that you are unable to do that, which is a very bad thing. Now, let's see if the rest of the sentences are there as well. Eliminated 100% production data integrity failures over 4 months. Who cares? That's not related. Measured by incident logs by engineering a Dockerized ELT. So ELT is at least PyTest and FortUID. Yeah, this is meaningless. This might as well not exist. Again, you mentioned a keyword, but you need 3 keywords per sentence minimum, and you have to explain to me the non-technical reason. Accelerated stakeholder reporting. Why do I care? I don't. That's not what I'm looking for. By interactive dashboards, blah, 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 blah. Object applied, blah, 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 blah. BI tools, still don't care. Cut runtime. Okay, yeah, this is blah, 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 blah. Improved API, blah, 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 for OOP. Again, you have keywords, but you don't show me how you'd use them. Reduced ML failures. No, again, this is too dense and too technical. I understand you are smart, right? It's just you cannot show this stuff through a resume. You have to show this. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see Kafka. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see how you could explain complex topics to non-technical people. Not a single thing. And based on how deeply, deeply, deeply technical your sentences are, it sounds like you're not able to, which is going to be bad because that is a part of the job. I also didn't see any of the GCP S3 equivalents. I wouldn't even know what those are, but as long as I see something right after them, that's fine. But I do know that it's not REST API endpoints in React. That's not what we're looking for. I didn't see what you did with data, and the industry is, I still have no idea. So all that I know from this is that you've used RAG, GCP, Python, and maybe CI/CDs, and that's it. And that's not enough to move forward. And ETL, because you need to explain them in non-technical ways. You need to do that. I don't care how frustrating it is. That is a critical part of your job. So you're going to need to redo this whole resume. Next resume. This is a resume of an investment banking analyst. Now, they are in India. And again, my advice works in India as well as the US. But my biggest fear with this is what an investment banking analyst is in the US may not be what an investment banking analyst is in India. The titles, despite being similar, could refer to two completely jobs. So for this, I am judging this as if it was an investment banking analyst in the US, as that is the only thing I can do. So what do we need? We need degree. We need MS Office, Excel, PowerPoint, Word. I need to see that you can manage multiple work streams and meet tight deadlines. Every single job said that. I need to see that you have banking or finance or FP&A experience. I need to see financial modeling, valuation, accounting. And while I need to see any communication, one of the best ways to show communication is communicate technical details to non-technical people. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Is this a good or bad resume? We don't know. They said they want to switch. They just started applying to jobs. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Format. Ew. Where's your degree? Okay, good. Bachelor's. Built pitch books and investor presentations, including company profiles, which summary support M&A and capital raising mandates. And need a little more description of that. Conducted in-depth research and market analysis. Company position. Again, I need more detail. Time. So I am a little concerned that this is, again, the India version of investment banking associate is different than the US version of investment banking analyst and associate. But I will say these sentences are not great. So built pitch books and investor presentations, including company profiles to support ML capital raising. I need more, right? Like, your first sentence needs to be an overview, and I need each sentence to have a minimum of 3 keywords, maximum of 6. And maybe, I don't know if any of these would do it, because like built pitch books and investor presentations using what? Excel? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Including company profiles, interview overviews, and valuation summaries. This reads like 1 keyword at max, right? Conducted in-depth industry research, use how? And market analysis across multiple sectors, identify key valuation, competitive positioning to support deal origination, transaction execution. What was the point of this? You need to be a little bit less technical. Perform financial modeling, okay, good. And valuation analysis, okay, good. Using, these might be needed, right? Comparable company for ensuring accuracy and alignment. Again, I need better. Like, these sentences are very, very hot dog coded. And that's the best thing I can describe with this is you kind of tell me adjacent to what you've done, but you don't directly tell me what you've done yourself. Also, I don't see any Excel or anything else. So even on the next one, also, is this the same company? Why do you have 6 bullet points for a job you've been at for 3 years? That should have a max of 4 or 5. Screen global copper assets for mining investors, assess numbers, delivered. Okay, again, this doesn't mean anything. Too many hot dogs. Led financial work streams for PE to buy diligence on marine water, built harvest distributor. Again, too many hot dogs. You know what I don't see? And this, I imagine, is the same in India and the US, is I don't see that you communicate technical details to non-technical people. I don't see that you can manage multiple work streams and meet tight deadlines, and I don't see any Excel. And at least for the first 2, I need to see those. I really do need to see that you can manage multiple work streams and meet tight deadlines. That was in every single one. And I don't want you to just say that. I want you to say, worked 14 consecutive projects on X and Y using Z and D to ensure that all deadlines were met. That is how I want you to write that. So there's really not much for me to do here because I'm really confused on what this person is. They could be an investment banking analyst. They could be something different, but whatever it is, I don't like the formatting at least, and that's kind of the best I can do. Although it would not succeed for an investment banking analyst in the US. Next resume. This is a resume of a cloud engineer with an AWS focus. This person actually does not have a terrible ratio. They said they're applying internationally and they're getting about a 1 in 50 ratio, which is not terrible. So yeah, that I'm expecting there to hopefully be something here that is good. But they said they're a cloud engineer, and I'm wondering if that's actually accurate or not. But what we need, at least in the US, for a cloud engineer, and again, my advice works everywhere, but sometimes a job title in X country is different than a job title in the US. Is degree, AWS, Python or Bash, CI/CD, Agile, Scrum, SQL, Linux, Windows, Excel, GitHub. Infrastructure is code, Terraform or Cloud Formations, CloudWatch, Kubernetes, explain complex topics and talk with non-technical stakeholders. Like every resume could use that except for straight up software engineers because they don't usually do that. Troubleshooting, monitoring, and optimizing cloud environment, and some certifications. So let's see if this resume translates to the US or not, which it just might not. But, you know, I want to be clear. There are more ways to get a job than just following my method, but my method is typically the fastest and most efficient way. But you can do things that I don't say and still get a job. It's not like it's impossible. It's just you're increasing the difficulty of your search for no reason. So, all right, 20 seconds on the clock and go. For cloud platform, no. Architected a Kafka, no. MongoDB, no. Where's your degree? Degree down there. Okay, good. Kubernetes, at least I have. I don't think this is a cloud engineer. Yeah, I think this is a case of what they call themselves over there is a little different than the US because I don't think this is a cloud engineer. I don't see anything that would imply there's cloud. I don't see anything that would imply this is a cloud specific engineer. I'm not actually sure what this person is. They said they're a software engineer, but I can't find what software engineering they did. All I see is Kafka. Is there, boy, this resume does not work for, I guess, the US, but yeah, I'm not sure what this person is. I'm really sorry. I don't know what you are. You don't tell me how you did what you did. You don't tell me the qualifications that I would be looking for. You mention Grafana and Kafka like 80 times when you only need to mention it once. And your bolded things mean nothing. So, yeah, I don't know how to review this. Fix your formatting, and I imagine you're applying to very niche roles, and it may be that this is the niche that works. But if you're applying for more general roles, I'm going to need you to have a resume that is tailored to those job titles, because I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. This is some kind of something, but it's working for you. And if you're able to find multiple jobs per week and you're getting one interview per 50, then honestly, good for you. It works. I think my method will increase the amount of interviews you get. But, you know, if it's working for you, it's working. So that's all I can do for this resume. I just want to thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing. And to my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. You can join in the link below if you want to if you want to view videos a little bit early and support me. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream. That's where I review resumes that are sent to me during the live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. But that is it for me, and I will see you in the next video. Later.